Hi, today I want to talk with you about how to bring in features graphically into blackbox22. So blackbox has a powerful feature called layer mapping, which allows you to bring in your features automatically from mappings. But there may be times when it's required or it's preferred to bring in your features graphically. And so that's what I want to show you today. Now, I have the CAD viewer open, and inside of there is the typical as-built drawing that I like to use in my demos. And so I've also gone ahead and created some layer mappings. And with the layer mappings, I've mapped in everything except for the service lines. So I'm going to demonstrate that by opening up my layer mappings and then clicking on the Hide Mapped Entities button, which will turn off everything that has been mapped. So if I do that, and then you have a look at the drawing, you can see that I've got these service lines for the sewer, some stormwater service lines, and the yellow ones are the water service lines, along with some of the roading that hasn't been turned off. And so now what I want to do to start this is just to use my layer mappings to bring in those features except for the service lines. And so I open up the layer mapping dialog box, and then I'm just going to map in everything in the drawing. And so now it's finished. And to show you what it's mapped in, I'm just going to open up a blank drawing, and I'm just going to draw into it quickly to show you what was mapped in. And you can see now that it's got most of those features, except it's minus the service lines that come off of the mains here from the stormwater and up here from the wastewater and the main, so the water main here. So now I want to bring these missing service lines in graphically. And so I want to switch back to the drawing that has the service lines in it. Okay, so how I'm going to bring these in is just go into the project and expand it out a bit and go into line features, right click and go add line feature. And from the add line feature dialog box, I want to change the type from main to service line. And when I do, then it updates the properties, and now I have the properties for the service line. So I can go in here and I can change any of the properties that I need to. And then when I'm happy with the properties, I will go in and choose the Add Spatial Data button. So I click on that, and that brings me into my drawing. And you can see at the command line, it says Select Objects. So I want to select the features. I want to bring in to be stormwater service lines. Okay, and I'm putting my cursor in the command line and hitting enter. And you can see it now says varies where the properties varies, and this is just going to be the spatial data for these features. And down here you can see it has the properties that are going to be applied to these features. So everything that I've just created, they're all going to have these same property values associated to them. Just click Save and Exit, and now the features have been created. And just for this demo, to show you the features that have been created, go back to my drawing, and I'm going to quickly draw those service lines in. So I just select them all, right click, and then I can select them all in here and generate an exit. If I go back to the drawing and scroll out a bit, you can see that I now have my stormwater service lines. And so now I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to do the wastewater service line. So I need to go back to my drawing that has them in there. And you can see these service lines here, the red in the red. I go back to the project, go into wastewater, right click on line features, add line feature. Again, change the asset type to a service line, and these properties update. And these are the properties for the wastewater service line. So I choose them and change them as appropriate. And then I click on the Add Spatial Data button. And then I go into the drawing and I just start selecting my wastewater service lines. Again, these are all going to have the same properties. So you can choose to map them in all at once or not if you want to, just depending on if you want to assign all the properties to them, all the same properties. And so now you can see the properties again, they vary where they vary, and you can see all the properties are going to be assigned to all of the features that I've just selected. And just click Save and Exit. And now they've been created. And so I want to draw these into my drawing just so I can show you what's been created. And so I'm going to hold down my Shift key, select the last one so they're all highlighted. Right click and go Draw Line Feature. And from the Draw dialog, I'm going to select All and Generate an Exit. If I scroll out, you can see all of the wastewater service lines have been created. So now I can move on and do the water service lines if I wanted to, but it's the exact same process as the storm and the sewer. And so I was demonstrating today how to bring in the service lines. This process works for any feature, including the point features and the polygon features. All right, so thank you very much.